All right, hey gang, just going to go over some of the homework from yesterday. I thought it would be best if I just kind of, I'm going to post the answers right here so that you can see them with this document or this on my screen. I'm going to pull that up. You can look through the answers and then, there it is, okay. As you're looking through these answers, I want you to be able to, evaluate which ones you got right, which ones you got wrong, okay. And what I'm about to do in the rest of the video is that I'm going to go over each of these problems. Obviously, there's no need to look at the problems that you got wrong, but if you got ones, there's no need to look at the problems you got right, but the problems you got wrong, you might want to find out where they are within the video and get that clarified, okay? Now, once you are done going over that, you're going to submit that for me in Schoology. I haven't opened up the assignment yet. I will do that here shortly. And then once you're done with that, if I go to Schoology, let's see here. I have got these practice problems I'd like you to work on for me from page 398. So you've got 4 problems there, 7 to 10, and then you have 27 to 32, so that'll be 6 problems there. So total 10 problems to work through for me, continuing those rules of simplifying those exponents, okay? So getting back to business here, what I'm going to do next is I am going to start to talk you through, oh, let me go back here. I forgot to show you the rest of the answers. So you might want to pause right now and just look through those. There's your first, all the way to 36 there. And then here are the rest of them to the bottom of the page, okay? So hopefully you did great and you won't have to watch much of the video if you didn't do so well. Let's try to get this, whatever is wrong, figured out, and then you can go ahead and start in those 10 problems I have for you from the textbook, okay? So with that being said, let's do this. There we go, document camera. All right. For number 1, I hope none of you got it wrong. Okay, if you did, not a big deal. That's why we're here. We're going to fix that. But anything raised to the 0 power is 1. Okay, so 16 to the 0 power is just 1, and I can stop right there. Yesterday we talked about how anything to a negative power has to go from where it's at to the opposite part of the fraction. So in this case, if it's in the numerator, as you can see there, it's going to go to the denominator. That's why I wrote 1 over 3 to the 3rd. And then if you cube, 3 to the 3rd is 3 cubed, same way of saying that. You have 3 cubed makes 27, 1 over 27, and I cannot simplify that any further, okay? Numbers 13, I don't think we did that one in class yesterday. 16 times 4 to the 0 power, what's anything to the 0 power? Well, we've already said it's 1 over here, right? Okay, so this is really 16 times 1, that's simple. That's just 16, okay? Now, the next one, anything to a negative power, it has to be going to the opposite portion of the fraction. So I'm going to put this 8 to the 1st over 32 to the 1st. They just go to the opposite, go to the opposite. Now, 8 over 32 reduces. 8 goes into 32 4 times. 8 goes into 8 once. So I have 1/4 right there, or 0.25. Okay. The next one, again, we're seeing this negative exponents. So they're going to flip-flop here. 3 to the 2nd goes there. 9 to the 1st goes there. Now, what is 3 to the 2nd? That's just 9. 9 over 9 becomes 1. All right. With this one, I've got a negative, and it's going to go to the denominator. So basically, I could have written this out. I don't think for those of you I showed this to yesterday, I don't think I showed it to both classes. I could write this like this. 1 over 3 to the 4th. Well, what is this right here? It's actually just this, negative 6 over 3 to the 4th. Okay. Now, what is 3 to the 4th? 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. This becomes negative 6 over 81. Okay. Now, the question then becomes is, can I reduce that? Well, I know 3 goes into 81. Does 6 go into 81? Let's see here. 81 divided by 6. Clear that. 81 divided by 6. 13.5 times. No, it doesn't go in evenly. So I'm going to do this. Dividing by 3, both those by 3, I get 2 over 27. Okay? So negative 2/27 is what I'd be looking for there. Okay? The next one, a lot like the previous. Okay? We still have these negative exponents, so this one's going to go here. This will go here. So what we have here is 4 to the first over 7 to the second. Well, 4 over 49, 4 goes into 48 evenly. 4 does not go into 80, or not, 4 does not go into 49 evenly. So I'm going to leave it just like that, okay? For number 25 here, b to the negative second. Well, I'm going to put the 6 in right now, okay? And anything raised to the negative power goes to the opposite portion of the fraction. So I have this, okay? Now from here, 6 squared is just 36. So I'm going to leave it 1 over 36, okay? So again, just using those rules that we've talked about. Number 33, I have 2. Now I've got a, which is negative 2 to the negative first, times b, which is 6 to the negative second, okay? Now these guys are going to go to the denominator. So I basically have this, 2 over negative 2 to the first, okay, I'm not going to do anything with that one, times 6 to the negative second, okay? Not negative second anymore, positive second, okay? Now, the order of operations say to deal with the exponents first and then to multiply. So what is 6 squared? Well, that's 36. What's 36 times negative 2? Well, that's negative 72, okay? Now, as I look at this, I know 2 goes into 72 evenly. It goes into it 36 times, so I'm going to write this down, negative 1 over 36. Don't forget that negative there, okay? All right, number 34, I have negative 4 times negative 2 to the negative second, and then I have 6 to the negative third. Both these guys are going to drop down, so I have negative 4 over negative 2, keep those parentheses around there, squared, and then I have 6 to the third, okay? Now, negative 2 squared, if I think about this, negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4, so this is 4. 6 to the third makes 216. I have a negative here, okay? Now, I will tell you this, at this point, I didn't recognize this yesterday when I did this with some of the classes. The 4 and the 4 actually can cancel out right here, okay? We're going to talk about that more later on in this chapter, but think about it, 4 divided by 4, what is that? That's just 1. So I'm going to put a 1 right there. So in essence, you have negative 1 over 216, okay? Negative 1 over 216. All right, now these last 8 or so actually get to be pretty simple, straightforward ones. When you have x to the negative 8, what do we do with that? It's a negative exponent. Drops down, right? Okay. When we have a to the negative 5th, what do we do with that? Drops down, right? So we have b over a to the 5th, okay? With this one right here, I have got a negative exponent, so I'm going to do m squared over n to the 9th. Okay. Here, it's in the denominator, but like we said, it's got to go to the opposite portion of the fraction. So you actually end up having 3a to the 4th. Okay. Both these have negative exponents, so we just have 6, r to the 5th, s to the 1st, and I don't need to put that. Okay. Both of these have negative exponents. So they're just going to flip-flop, e to the 7th over d to the 4th. Number 50, these two have negative exponents, but the exponent here on the 3 is a 1, so that stays in the numerator. So this is 3n to the 8th, and then m to the 4th. Okay. Now I'm thinking to myself, what if, because I could see a lot of students taking the 3 to the denominator here. How could I create myself like a cheat code so that I can kind of figure this out? Well, here's what I might do. I might assign some values for m and n. So let's try this. If I was to assign m2 and n3, just picking 2 random numbers here. So if I plug this into my calculator, okay, I'm going to do the numerator first, so notice the parentheses there. 3 times, now we have 2 raised to the negative fourth power. That's my whole numerator. My denominator would be divided by. Now my denominator would be 3 raised to the negative eighth power. Okay, let's see what that is. Okay, we get this number here. Okay, now if we've done it correctly, this right here should be the same. So 3n to the eighth. So let's go times 3 to the eighth. Okay, divided by, and we're going to do m to the fourth. So 2 to the fourth. Hey, look at that. We got the exact same answer for both, so I know I've simplified it correctly. So again, just trying to teach you some cheat codes that you could use there to try and rationalize that you have actually simplified things correctly. Okay. All right, last one. We've got 2 here that have the negative exponents. They're going to go down. We've got 1 here that's got a negative exponent. It's going to come up. So what we end up with is this. We have d to the third on top. And then below, we have a to the second, b to the first, c to the first. Okay? And that's how you finish it up. So, folks, I hope that was clear, understandable. It was 11 minutes of your time. I apologize if that was too long. But you also have those 10 practice problems from the textbook. So don't forget to submit your answers here in Schoology, and then do those 10 problems for Tuesday. Have a great weekend, guys, and we'll see you on Tuesday.